Hello all, in this video we will be continuing our discussion on Rigvedic period and this is part 4. So today we are going to discuss about this Rigvedic economy. We have already covered about this Rigvedic polity and Rigvedic society. Now we are going to discuss about the Rigvedic economy. So let's get started. Regarding this Rigvedic economy, the first thing and the most important thing we have to follow that the Rigvedic economy was a village based one. So what we can see, there was no a city culture or urbanized economy. So simply what we can refer that the Rigvedic economy was a village based economy. And in which what we can see the houses that were made up of certain wood and bamboo. Also they had thatched roof and clay floors. In Rigveda, there we can see some important hymns referring the word Pura. The term Pura in Rigveda refers what? The fortified places and served as places of refuge during danger of invasion. So what we can see, the term Pura meaning some fortified places. And as you discussed the concept city or urbanization, the term Nagara is used for referring the city that was absent in Rigvedic economy. Why so? Because the Rigvedic economy was a village based economic system. And in the last session we have discussed about the village system based on what? There was the Kula meaning what? Family. After that comes the village Grama that is headed by Gramani. So what we can see, the Gramani was the village head and he administered the affairs of village. So what we can see, there happened a village economic system under Gramani. And there is another person or official called as Vrajapati, and this Vrajapati, he led this Kulapas. Kulapas means the head of Kulas or Grahapatis to battle. That was the role of Prajapati. So this is an introduction regarding the Rigvedic economic system. So the most important point is that there happened a village economy. The most important feature of this Rigvedic economy is that it was a pastoral economy. Pastoral economy is nothing else, as you can see in this picture, that is a cattle based economic system, or we can simply say that it was a cattle rearing. So cattle was the most important economic source of this Rigvedic people. So cattle rearing was also called as this pastoral economy. So as part of the cattle significance, we can see some important words with the term Gau. So what we can see, the term Gau meaning cow or cattle. Based on that, what we can see some important references in Rigveda or Rigvedic period. Such as we have this tribal chief with the title Janasya Gopa. Janasya Gopa, he was the tribal chief. And there used different elements based on the term or based on the infix Gau. Such as the measure for time was used by this term Goduli. And Samgava. Samgava meaning morning and Goduli meaning dusk. And the terms Gavyuti and Gocharman were used for measuring distance or area. So we can see two important words, Gavyuti and Gocharman. They were used to measure some distance or area. Most importantly, what we can see, buffalo, that is known as Gauri or Gavala. So the term Gauri meaning buffalo. And daughter, she was referred with the word Duhitri. Duhitri meaning she who milks cow. So the word Duhitri is used mainly to refer the daughter of a household. Gojit, the term used for hero. So there was some people who win over the cows and who saved cows. They were called as Gojit, meaning hero. And the wealthy person was known by the title Gomat, meaning owner of cattle. So who owns more number of cattle, they were called as Gomat. And even what we can see, the god Indra, he had one epithet with the title Gopadi, meaning what? The lord of cattle. So the god Indra itself called as Gopadi. So such kind of words are used in Rigveda, signifying the importance of pastoral economy. So this is about the cattle significance in this Rigvedic period. Next is the Rigvedic agriculture. The most important point you have to remember that the pastoralism was dominated than agriculture in Rigvedic time. Here you can see the reference by the historian R.N. Nandi. As per him, he says that there are many references in Rigveda regarding agriculture, so it was not marginal to any particular section. So what we can see, agriculture was practiced by most of the section of the people without any caste difference or caste difference. Most importantly, we can see some important words regarding agriculture in Rigveda, such as the term Vap used to mention to sow, and Krish meaning to cultivate, And there were three important words used for plow, such as Phala, Langala and Sira. So these three words are very important. Phala, Langala and Sira, they were used to mention plowing. Kanitra was used for hoe purpose. Datra, Sreni were used for sickle. Parashu and Kunisha were used for axe. So these were three important tools used for agriculture during Rigvedic period. And the term Kshetra had many meanings, but the most important meaning was the cultivated field. And the term Urvara, very important, the term Urvara, that signified the fertile fields, and Sida for furrows. And we can see important cereals such as Yava or barley that is mentioned in Rigveda and also referred with the title Dhanya. We have already mentioned about the god Indra as Gopad, as the protector of cows, and also here what we can see is the protector of crops also. So in Rigvedic times, the god Indra was the most significant one as Gopad and protector of crops. He is also the winner of fertile fields, and he has this title also Urvarijit. So this is about agriculture. We'll discuss more words regarding agriculture in the next slide. So here you can see most important words in Rigveda regarding agriculture. As we discussed, Vap means to sow, Krish means to cultivate, Kanitra hoe, Datra and Sreni for sickle, Parshu and Kurisha for axe, Urvara meaning fertile fields, Sida meaning furrow, Yava for barley, Dhanya for cereals, Urvarjit meaning winner of fertile fields, that is given to the god Indra, Kshetrapadi meaning the guardian deity of agriculture fields, and Phala, Langala and Sira used for implements used for plow purpose. Other activities done for Rigvedic period and added to the Rigvedic economy were the craft production. We can see the chariot making, cart making, carpentry, metal working, tanning, and the making of bows, bowstrings, sievings, weaving, and making of mats out of grass or reeds. Such kind of activities were also added to this Rigvedic economy. But what we can see during this Rigvedic period, there we can see very few reference to metallurgical works in the family books. Family books means 2 to 7. We have already mentioned for many times. Okay. We can see some important metal objects during this Rigvedic period such as Shura meaning razor, Kadi maybe a bangle, Asi or Swadidi meaning axe. So such kind of metal objects were also can be understood from the Rigvedic text. And the term ayas that was used during this period, and it most probably meant that copper and copper bronze objects than iron or something. So what we can see during Rigvedic period, the term ayas mentioned copper or copper bronze objects than iron metals. So this is all about this module, Rigvedic economy. Now we can practice one question. The question is, the term Urvara in Rigveda meant that options: furrow land, fertile land, wasteland, rain fertile land. So you can comment your answers in the comment section below. Hope you enjoy my lessons. It would be better and it would be happy for me if you please spread these modules and lectures among your friends. So that's all for now. Thank you.